Just when Rockstar thought it was safe to go to sleep, another Lowrider duplication glitch has been discovered. My name's True Swolger, and this is how you do it. So the first thing you want to do is pull out your phone and call up Benny's. You want to fill up all of your garages with the regular Elegy. They're free, whether you get it from Benny's or get it from the Legends Motorsports website. Either one will do. It's the same car. So go ahead and fill up your office garages, your regular garages, and also with this glitch, you can stock up your motorcycle clubhouse because we're going to be duping in there as well. But since the Elegy doesn't fit, we're going to stock that with the $5,000 Fagios. Make sure you use the 5,000 because there's a couple new ones on there that are worth upwards of 50,000. Definitely try and use the lower one so that you can maximize your profit. This glitch actually came out a couple days ago, but it's still working, so I figured I'd document it and also offer any insight to possible issues that people have been having with. So once you have all your garages stocked, you want to log on to the Rockstar Social Club website. If you don't already have an account, you're going to want to set that up. So once you get in here, hover over Games and click on GTA Online Jobs. Once you open this up, there's going to be a search bar, and what you want to type in is found by Tudo Facile France. Once you start typing in found, it'll be the first one that shows up. So once you click on that, the first thing you're going to see is two races that look almost identical. The left one is if you have a two-story motorcycle club. The right one is if you have a single-story motorcycle club. So once you click the one you want, scroll down and hit add to game. And it's very important that once you add this to your game, you close out your game on your console and then log back in. That way it actually shows up in your bookmarked jobs and also on the minimap. Once you log back into GTA Online, you're going to want to fire up the job that you bookmarked on the Rockstar Social Club website. And one thing that you have to make sure of is that you're the host for this job and that also you're the only one in the race. If there's anybody in the race or you're not the host, it's not going to work, and you're going to need to back out and try again. Next, you're going to make sure you switch the car class from muscle to sports, and also just make sure it's still on point-to-point GTA. Otherwise, it's not going to let you get out of the vehicles and do the things that you need to do. So make sure it's on point-to-point GTA and you have sports cars selected because we're going to need to access the retro custom Elegy. Most of you that did the office garage duplication glitch should still have a couple of these left over. If not, you definitely want to get yourself a free Elegy and do the Benny's upgrade on it and then deck it out with every single upgrade that you possibly can. Paint doesn't really matter, and I also heard that neon doesn't really matter and tire smoke, but everything else buy the most expensive parts because that's going to maximize the amount of money you get per duped car. Alright, something you might have just noticed is that this race actually starts you in your motorcycle clubhouse. You're briefly in there and then it'll kick you out. So once you're out, the only way to get back in is to hold down Y on Xbox or triangle on PS4 and respawn back into the car. Now once you're back in, clearly you're not supposed to be in your clubhouse with a car, so the game's going to be fighting to kick you out again. That's fine. As soon as you walk out the door, start hitting the respawn button so it respawns you back inside the clubhouse. Now this is the most important step and probably the hardest step of the whole thing. You want to get over to that dartboard as soon as possible before it kicks you out of the clubhouse. When you walk up to the dartboard, start rapidly hitting the right direction button, and if you're on Xbox, hit the A button. If you're on PS4, hit the X button. Hit both of those buttons rapidly as fast as you can to ensure that you start a round of darts. You don't have to play for long, just enough to make the game think that it's okay to be in your clubhouse, otherwise it'll kick you out. So now you want to make your way down to your garage if you have a two-story, or just walk into the next room if you have a one-story. And this is the part where we start duplicating the Fagios. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get on a Faggio. I wasn't satisfied with this one, so I chose the one in the corner because I wanted to start with number 1. Doesn't matter which one you start with. So you want to hold down the respawn button again, and also give it gas at the same time as soon as the bar fills up. That is crucial to the glitch. Hold down Y on Xbox, triangle on PS4, and wait for that meter to fill up. When you see the respawn meter fill up, hit the gas and hold it down, and when you drive out, you will be in a fully upgraded custom elegy. You'll know that you've had success in duplicating the Faggio into a custom retro elegy when it disappears from your garage. So you'll walk in and there'll be a blank spot where the Faggio used to be. As you can see, it didn't work the first time, but that's normal. Usually it takes about 2 or 3 times because you got to have 2 cars outside. So once those are all outside and you go back in, the Faggio will in fact disappear. So as you can see back here in the corner, Faggio number 1 is gone. And I'll just show you here on the menu that is now a elegy retro custom. And apparently that's not slot 1. I thought it was slot 1. I stand corrected. So now we just hop on the next Faggio and do the exact same thing. Hold down respawn. As soon as the bar fills up, hit the gas at the same time. Drive out. I want to give a shout out to Tuda Facile France and Bruntango for their work on this glitch. I don't know exactly who figured out what, but it's just an amazing discovery. And they've done a lot of work in the past on some glitches, along with many other YouTubers. And it's just amazing the things that they figure out. So I just want to say thank you for all their hard work. So now here's one thing that you don't want to do. Whenever you go back into the garage, if you notice I've been going through the garage door every time. Well, this time I'm going to show you what happens when you go into the front door. The problem is that it shows this animation of you going in and then walking through the door. And what happens is that when you go back to the Faggio that you just duped, you'll notice that it's still there. So always make sure that you use the garage door, because something with the animation will mess up the dupe. It's not a big deal. You can always just try it again and dupe it again. But just make sure you don't waste your time going through the front door and then having to repeat the process when you don't have to. Okay, so after the entire garage has been duplicated, you're going to want to go ahead and head to one of your other garages and continue the process. You'll notice here that I jumped on a PCJ because I was under the impression that you need to have one motorcycle in your clubhouse that you weren't going to dupe in order to drive that, whether to the end of the race or to another garage to continue duping. But you don't actually have to do that. You can just buy 6 Faggios and dupe them all, because when you walk out of your clubhouse, there's an elegy sitting right there. Just jump in that and drive that to your next garage, or if you're done duping and you just want to leave it at the clubhouse and not continue making more money, you can just finish the race in that. So here you can see I went to one of my regular 10-car garages and jumped in a free elegy, and same process. Hold down respawn as soon as the bar fills up. Make sure you press that gas, and when you drive out, it will be duplicated into a custom retro. And again, I don't know if you notice this, I go back and forth between elegy and elegy because I really don't know what it's called, and I've kind of grown to call it both, depending on what crosses my mind. So maybe in the comment section, let me know what you guys call them. Maybe that'll help me. If it's unanimous that it's elegy, then I'll start calling it that all the time. If not, then I don't know. I really don't care. So here you go again. As you can see, it didn't dupe the first time. Again, anytime you go to a new garage, you're going to want to keep duping until you have 2 cars sitting outside. It's not until you see 2 cars sitting outside that the cars inside will start disappearing. So there I have 2 retro customs sitting outside. I walk back into my 10-car garage and it's gone. Now, what you're going to notice is that the retro doesn't show up during this race, because technically it's still a race. You're going to do this duplication glitch and you're going to start to think to yourself that you're just playing in a free roam session, but you're not. You're actually inside of the Tudo Facile race. So it actually doesn't spawn the retro custom until after you quit the game and come back to your garage in free roam, and you will notice that your garage is completely stocked. So here, as you can see, every spot is a retro Elegy custom, and this garage is done, and that's it. Just go to all your other garages and continue the process over and over again. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little tedious, but the payout is insane. These glitches have definitely changed the game quite a bit for a lot of us, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a little depressing when you pull out your phone and go to buy a new car and then you realize you've bought them all. So hopefully they release another DLC in the future, but when you're finished with all of your garages, you have them fully stocked, you just want to make your way to the end of the race. And I'm getting mixed reviews on whether you should finish the race or not. I was told that you need to finish the race, otherwise you will get flagged as a bad sport and thrown into a bad sport lobby if you continue to quit the glitch over and over again. So it's always a good idea to finish the race, but now I'm seeing a lot of guys are still getting put in the bad sport lobbies even after finishing the race. So just be careful on how many times you do the glitch. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up and click on any random job. It doesn't matter, because what's going to happen is your game is going to freeze and you're going to be stuck in the clouds. Now, originally I was told that after the race and you got stuck in the clouds that you had to back out to the dashboard and force quit the app and then log back into Grand Theft Auto Online. But what that did for me was that when I went back in, all of my garages reverted back to the original cars. There were no duplications. All the garages were filled with stock free Elegies, and my motorcycle clubhouse was filled with the Fagios. So through trial and error, I've actually figured out that if you unplug your hardwired Ethernet cable from your router, that's the cable that runs from the back of your Xbox to your router, and plug it back in really quick, it'll kick you back to story mode. And then when you log back into Grand Theft Auto Online, all your duplications will be there. Guaranteed, every time. I've done it several times since then, and it's worked every time. If your console is not hardwired into your router, then try just signing out and signing back in real quick. Basically, you want to get back to story mode without actually quitting the dashboard, because what that does is somehow it saves your game at some point that makes it remember all of your duplications. That way you don't waste your time. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching. Give me a like and a subscribe if you feel it in your hearts to do so. This has been True Swolger, and I will see you guys next time.